Hello. This week we're dealing with number 12 in the series on Ezra and Nehemiah. This one's entitled Dealing with Bad Decisions. I happen to be standing outside of Chateau de Chillon in Switzerland. I just wonder how many bad decisions were made in this place. You know that over the course of history must have been very many. But back to our material for this time. We're looking primarily towards the end of the book of Ezra and Nehemiah, particularly in Nehemiah 13, the problem with intermarriage with these pagan people around. And Nehemiah discovers that some of the children for these mixed marriages, they can't even speak Hebrew. They can't even speak the language of their own people. They speak the language of the Canaanites, the Philistines, whatever cities these people happen to come from, primarily the women. And that leaves us with a real problem, because for us today, we would say, well, we need to be inclusive, we need to accept people from other places and so on, and we need to be tolerant and understanding. Why did they have to be so intolerant of these other people? Well, first of all, there was a history, you could look at that in the material. And secondly, the main thing was they did not understand what their true religion really was. Look at what is said there, particularly there by Nehemiah. Wasn't it marriages like these that made King Solomon of Israel sin? There wasn't a king in any nation like him. God loved him and God made him king over Israel, but even he was made to sin by foreign women. So it's a question of idolatry. It's a question of mixing religions and compromise in that area that creates such a big problem for those particular leaders. Ezra, as you see, he tears out his own hair. Nehemiah tears out the hair of the other people, dealing with these situations in different ways. But not only is there the issue of religious pluralism, if you like, the idolatry that comes in through all of that, there's also the question of nationhood and the question of social identity and all of that. They'd already been diluted, if you could put it that way, by their time in Babylon, and now they're coming back, and now it's all going to become amalgamated once again. So in the end, this has to be hard decisions. Dealing with bad decisions in our own lives, we have to make hard decisions and to fix these things. And the fix there was to get rid of all these foreign wives. It's a hard and a tough decision to have to make. Sometimes we have to make hard and tough decisions. I hope for very good reason. I hope that we are convinced that we are doing the right thing, and for the cause that is actually just and good. Think of all the problems that have come about in your life from the bad decisions that you have made, and the ways in which you've had to fix those, to live a better way and to come back to God particularly. Sometimes we fall into various kinds of sins, and sometimes we compound them by the way that we try and get out of them. That is not the way that we should do. We should think about it. We should make very clear-headed decisions. Most of all, we should go and ask God, okay, Lord, I've put myself in a terrible fix. How do I get out of it? There's a couple of interesting quotes in our material for this time. I like the one from Anthony Liccione. With all these forks in the roads of our path, why do so many choose to take the knife? We're playing with words there, but it kind of sums it up a little bit, doesn't it? And then from Sonia Sotomayor, the Supreme Court Justice there in the US, good people can do bad things, make bad decisions, but doesn't make them bad people. So I'd encourage you, think about that. Try and live a good life. Try and find out what God wants. Try and live with that way, recognizing that even though we make bad decisions, we can still come back to God. May God bless you as you do just that.